Welcome back, Maverick Sniffers. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an issue with this series. It turns out that Alanzro made a mistake and recorded all of our audio channels onto the game audio. So, it sounds like garbage. So, what we had to ultimately do was Mikey implemented an AI program to reduce all of the audio vocals from the game audio, but in turn, this also got rid of all of the voice acting from the game itself. So we already lost the footage for this once, and we're trying this a second time, so we decided to just release the part as it is. So we hope you understand. We're very sorry for the inconvenience. Hope you enjoy watching.
I almost choked to death just now.
I almost choked to death in my own burp. How does that work?
I burped up liquids.
Alright, we got the intro going now.
You have like a little acid reflux where it came back up in your throat.
Attempt number 2 at this.
Yes, time for Gurren Lagann, the game.
I wondered if Trigger did work on, or like a part of Trigger did work on the opening.
I mean, those big titty hentai girls right there are, Ethan, make her boobs gigantic.
Did she even have boobs? She looked pretty flat.
Well, she didn't have to edit them in. Hey, look, it's Mega Man.
As Marge Simpson once said, "My bagogis have become bazongas."
I don't remember that at all. Ethan, edit in the clip. Actually, don't do that. That sounds like a pain in the ass. What is this? Ethan
And
editing in 3 playthroughs in a row? What the fuck?
Good for him.
Hey, it's Tronbon.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alonzo, you
now
want to
we're
tell
dead.
us why we're recording this a second time?
Because, oh god, that was fun. I think we did like an hour or something like that. And then I remember the previous playthrough we were doing, while we were doing Battletoads.
Mm-hmm.
I had asked Ethan if he was recording. And
finally played
he wasn't.
Battletoads.
Yeah, he wasn't. It's like, okay, cool, we checked that. I didn't check myself when we were doing this one, and I guess I had stopped recording when I did screenplay, and that whole hour is gone now. We did the prologue chapter, so we didn't miss much.
We recorded last week, we recorded for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we ended up with like 45 minutes of usable footage. because we lost more content that we gained last week. But so we're playing this game again. And, Alonzo, tell us why you want to play this on Sniff Mavericks.
I think like your the game we just played, your Elisa, what was it, Dragon
Alicia
Rider
Dragoon.
thing.
I like
Yeah,
how Alonzo keeps forgetting what it's called.
it's because it's. I keep thinking of like all the other Dragoon games, and it's like it's not that.
It's not Legend of
but-
Dragoon.
Legends Dragoon.
It's
the other
Planet of Dragoon. So we're playing
Panzer
Project
Dragoon.
Zero Wing. X Gun give it to you.
Yeah, Project
Except we're-
Crossbones. Just a fun little interesting game. Just a big crossover game. I can't remember. Came out 2016 or Ethan check.
2020. It says 2012 right on the front screen there.
Oh shit! I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
And
God,
it was
I'm
a
gonna
fun
have to
little
make-
game. It's not a lot of people, I think, heard about it. It was for the 3DS, and it's just a fun little silly game. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we already did all the paralogs, so we're just gonna start with chapter 1.
Paralogs.
Yeah, there's like 5
Paralogs?
paralogs. It goes through like all
What's
the
a
mechanics, and there's
Paralog?
like that. There's
You mean
Prologue.
prologue?
yeah, same thing. Prologue, and then because I'm thinking paralogs of what was it, Fire Emblem?
Ethan edited in an F.
Edited an Alonzo wrong moment.
So yeah, the prologues, there's like 5 of them. It just kind of introduces the mechanics and the kind of the general story. Basically, will fly through my mouth.
There are portals opening up all over Resident Evil and Mega Man and a bunch of obscure games that only came out in Japan, and now everybody has to fight a bunch of weird faceless doll creatures.
I think
and
the weird
Gremlins.
Japanese only ones are just the Namco games, because the rest are like pretty popular, released in the US and everything. So
You mean
I
All
mean,
the
if
fighting
you
game
say so.
characters.
I've never heard of like 90% of the IPs in this.
Well, you don't play a lot of games, Mikey.
I
he
played
hasn't played
a
very
decent
many.
amount of games.
Your genre is very limited.
I
Not
like
as much.
Mario and
I-
Mario accessories.
I feel like you are overestimating the popularity of some of these franchises, but I'm willing to admit that yes, I'm probably not the target audience for 90% of these.
I mean, this
Yeah,
game
well-
is so
well,
niche.
that's kind of
This game is. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that was kind of like the point. You get all the niche characters and like, hey, play this game. Oh, Ethan's favorite character here,
It's a buxom
Yes.
teenager.
big old redhead.
I'm happy. I'm happy that we get to play this game again, just so we can see her and all the other cute big titty hentai bitches. I was about to say this game is so niche that they didn't even bother translating, adding an English cast. So that kind of goes
Well, that's
to show.
expensive. That's for a lot of games.
That's
like, for small studios and everything.
That's so expensive. But I'm just
For a
saying,
3DS
yeah,
game, why are you gonna fully voice it though?
totally. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
Well, my position is if
Chun-Li.
you're not going to do both, then you might as well do neither and save the money.
So
but they
you
already
just
have
don't
the
want
Japanese cast.
Yeah, why would
You'd
you
rather
not?
no voices?
Why would you cut the Japanese voices from the game?
Well, I mean, like, I'm just going to mute them anyway.
Why?
Mikey has his
'Cause-
own preferences. We'll just leave it
Yeah.
at that. But
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
absolutely love hearing the Japanese voices.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of VA
Yeah.
in this game anyway, because, like, there's no VA in this scene.
Well, yeah. There's
Uh,
like certain parts where they voice it. It's like a lot of the RPGs on the 3DS or a lot of RPGs in general. They have certain points where there's a lot more dialogue, but more stuff they want to emphasize. They'll have the voices and everything.
Okay.
Chapter 1, after 5, what was it, prologues?
Alright,
Oh yeah, it was an hour of prologue. I was trying to find a synopsis of the prologue so we can kind of mention over it again. But right now I have to look back at the over-the-top anime fighting style.
that is
There's voice
probably
acting here, at least.
Yeah, during the fights, but like during the pages and pages and pages of dialogue,
Yeah, that's...
that's where there's no.
I'm gonna try to be as nice and diplomatic about this as possible. But this
Oh
seems
yeah, in the
like...
other playthrough, Mikey was just shut off too.
Yeah, like I think a big problem with us doing this game is like, okay, so a lot of the times when we do playthroughs, Alanzro is usually pretty quiet, and I think the reason for that is that, like, I don't know, like, it's probably different for a game like Mario Sunshine or whatever, but like in the case of Earthworm Jim 2, if it's a game you don't know much about, from a genre you don't know much about, it's hard to find stuff to say about it, because you just don't have the background to engage with it.
That's why I'm looking for research and stuff.
So, like, yeah, I guess that's my guess as to why Alonzo talks more in some playthroughs than others, because it's like, I'm the big Mario fan, so obviously I'm going to have a bunch of stuff to say about lost levels or whatever, but in this case, it's like, this is a genre I have almost no familiarity with. Like, I've played, like, maybe a few hours of Fire Emblem Awakening. That's probably the closest thing to this game that I've played. Like I said, I don't
played-
recognize...
She looks just
Go
like
ahead.
Alicia Dragoon. She has red hair.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
this is her reincarnation. Also, I think it's voiced when the text is blue.
Oh, okay.
Ow.
So here we go with the main villain squad here. I think
Yeah.
Ethan's gonna be happy now because going forward, it's just gonna be me and her buddy here.
Skull, yeah, brother.
Thought you were
So,
gonna say
unfortunately-
it's just me and her boobies.
Yeah, I thought
Oh,
you
and
were
then
about
Morgan,
to say
Morgan
that
and
too.
Chun-Li will be around.
Why would she have bat wings on her head? Like, how would that
Uh,
make sense logistically?
Is it a hat or? I think
No,
she's
it's
a
just her wings.
succubus, right?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
would
she's
her
succubus.
wings be on her head? Why would they not be on her back?
She does have them on her
and-
back. I think, yeah, she does have them on her back.
They're on her head.
Well, yeah, she has another pair there as well.
She has 4 wings? What kind of sense does that make?
Or 2 sets.
Why not just give her 2 sets of boobles?
All right, Alonso, why don't you give us a quick flyover review of the gameplay for the audience, just so they know the gist of what's going on here?
Yeah, since we lost all the tutorial info. So basically, you go in, it's kind of like a tactical RPG. You pick your unit, you got your movement and everything like that. And then here, the way that you fight is basically kind of like a juggling combo system. So you start off with you have 3 moves at first. As you level up, as you can see on the bottom right, you'll get more moves. So like right now we just have a regular A, a left A that can cause stun, which is an effect that you can cause on the enemy, a back A, which is one of the other moves, and then later on we can get a down A and an up A. And then once your bar is up to 100%, you can do a special for big damage. And then on the top right, we have, if you're close enough to a unit, you can do a support attack, where the other units that are close by, I think it's by like 2 or 3 tiles, they can assist you in the combo. And then by chaining it well enough, you're able to do good enough damage. And then if you time it right, you can get a critical like that.
Do the enemies
queefs a lot?
Yeah. Make sure it's fart 6. But
and basically, if you don't time it right, a lot of your moves can miss, and you won't do as much damage. So if you're able to like time it right, I'm able to kill these guys basically in one shot. I could be like missing a bunch of them, and the enemy would still be alive. So a lot of it is about the timing, learning your character's moves and everything like that.
That does
got a little rhythm.
Because, like, just me as an observer watching it, it looks like the game's really easy. It looks like the enemies don't even fight back.
I haven't even watching the combat. I just watched some characters in the right bounce around. Because I just like looking at the animations.
Yeah, those
those
are some
really
impressive looking animations, yes.
Like, I'm not looking at the enemies because they're not interesting to look at. I just like looking at all the characters move around.
Oh, yeah,
and thinking about how
wings on the head, wings on the back.
Oh, she has 2 pairs of wings. Okay.
Okay, so the ones on her head must be there for aesthetics only. Though that even aesthetically, those wings
on her head sure fits my aesthetic tastes.
And then for defense, you got these 3 different responses you can do. You can counter, which they'll attack you for the full attack amount, and then you can do 1 move against them for counter damage. Defend, it reduces the amount of damage you're going to take for 20% of your XP, which is the bottom right there. You can see on the main screen. Yeah, right now we're at 129%. Or you can do a full defend, which negates all damage for 60% of that gauge. Or you do nothing. You basically, your XP goes up, but you take full damage.
Okay, so that's why the enemies don't attack in the combo scenes, because they attack on their own turn. Okay.
Welcome back to Sniff Mavericks.
It's just kind of weird, because it kind of looks like the fight screens in Fire Emblem, where, like, each character gets 1 turn. Like,
Right.
But I guess it works a little differently here.
There's a turn order. I'll show you once we finish up killing this dude.
So if you don't attack, you'll all just stand there, even though it's an action.
You can skip your turns. So if I can,
you were just standing there earlier and watching them. No, not that turn in combat. You were just standing there. Nothing. Was happening.
I can like plan like what move I'm going to start with or something like that, because the action doesn't start until you hit a button. And if you see at the bottom right in the small screen, you can see the turn order. The higher your units, let me see here. Higher your character's speed determines their turn order. So these guys have
cute those
a
sprites
speed
are.
of 105.
Those sprites are so fucking cute. Look at them.
Yeah. And then let me see here. Can I get to the next unit or my?
It reminds me of in the last session we lost. There were like 2 men on screen, and Ethan was like, "Mikey, which of these 2 characters would you rather have sexual intercourse with?"
Yeah, that sounds like something Ethan would say.
I forgot all about that.
It's like one of them's an underage boy, and the other one is Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, and it's just like,
I didn't know he was, you know.
It's just some logical deduction.
Oh, he just looks young.
Yeah, he could be.
All right. It does not say what Mii's age is. She's not explicitly
16.
stated to be. I'm looking at her wiki right now. It doesn't say 16.
It says in the game, like in the beginning, the paralog we
Are you
missed.
fucking kidding me? Come on.
Paralog, he's still saying it.
Oh, prologue. I literally, because of Fire Emblem, it's all paralogs.
Oh, okay.
Ethan
Is that-
added in another Alonzo wrong moment.
So that's the part where Jafar controls his son and he kills Crom, right? The paralog.
No. Paralogs are like side stuff. Like for Awakening, it's basically
Oh.
getting child units and stuff like that.
So what you're
Jafar
saying is
kills his son, Yago.
so what you're saying is it's like those worthless parts of Lost where it cuts to them in the real world where they never went on the plane ride.
What?
You know that terrible show Lost that went on for like 8 seasons and
Oh,
got really
yeah,
bad?
that's right. Lost. Sorry, you're talking about Fire Emblem, and I was thinking, like, wait, what in Lost is Fire Emblem?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just, Lost is just written. They had a story, and then it started.
What
hitting,
else
so
are
they had to-
stories but mystery boxes?
No, yeah. Well, the issue is the whole thing with. Here Alonzo rant. Capitalism as a whole, the soul did well, so that the show did well, so therefore they must extend it, and they extended so much that the story lost its plot.
So it's like how
It
The Walking
jumps the
Dead has
shark
gone
in season
on.
4.
So it's like how The Walking Dead has gone on for 500 seasons with no end in sight.
Is it still going?
I honestly don't know because I never watched it to begin with. But
I was actually thinking about that the other day because, like, I'm rewatching The Office right now, and like I
Yeah.
noticed the peak of The Office is already in season 2.
Oh, here's the super.
Oh yeah, like
Also, if
even
you-
that show, they kept the Jim and Jam.
Oh, that was so cute.
They kept the Jim and Pam romance plot line going for as long as physically possible, and then apparently once they got married, the ratings dropped or something.
I mean, how much
And
have
now
you
the
folks
Boston
watched?
special.
Of The Office?
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few episodes, just like Eric would be watching them, and then I'd sit down and watch them, and I liked what I saw.
Yeah, that's a great show. Those last 2 seasons are like uniquely terrible, though.
Well, I know that Michael Scott left, or rather
Yeah.
Steve Carell left the show because he was like, oh, surely they're going to renew my contract. And then they played it kind of coy because they wanted to not have to pay him as much or something. I don't remember. And so he's like, whoa, I guess they don't want me. I'm going to leave then.
I don't know if that was it or if the circumstances were as you described. I think it was more like he had a contract for 7 years and he chose not to renew it. I don't know.
I remember
Ethan
reading
edited
like
both of us being wrong just because.
that's not how you have to keep the integrity of the bit going.
What integrity?
Okay. I think he did not want to return. I think he kind of held his ground and did not choose to return. I don't think it was what you
I'm going
are.
to look this up right now.
No, you are not. I'm going to look it up and edit in a wrong moment for whichever one of us was wrong.
Whoever's right, though, just put Alonzo right.
No,
see.
Ethan edited
That way
another
Aaron-
another
That way
Alonzo
I win.
wrong just for fun. You have to
Alright,
maintain the integrity of the bit. You jerk.
It was time for the other characters to step into the forefront and other storylines to be pursued. I think it was the timing was right, I think, for everybody, but simultaneously there's just a bit of sense of joy for me that we had experienced all of this and I was getting a chance to take a lap with everybody. And the way those last 2 episodes were structured, it felt very rich for me to simultaneously be saying goodbye as Michael and us as friends in this moment of work together. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a very emotional thing. That didn't say
That's
anything at all.
that didn't answer. I'll look it up later, you fart licker.
Let's see.
Can you play as Arthur from Ghouls and Spooklies?
Not yet. We'll have to get to that.
Speaking
I'm
of
just
hard
equipping
games,
Equipping
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, okay,
And
so
we're
we
gonna
can
save.
talk over this part.
Yeah, this is just kind of the prep menu and everything.
We're talking about